Today we will be visiting a town that has been named as Scotland's friendliest town, and that is Helensburgh. Let's check out this town at Scotland's west coast. Good morning folks, join me on a trip to Helensburgh. A few weeks ago I read an article that Helensburgh is supposed to be Scotland's friendliest town, and well, I thought I haven't checked out Helensburgh properly. I've only been there once briefly, so let's go and check it out. There are a few places I want to go, and we'll have to make a tough decision on where to go at the end of the video because don't have that much time, but I'm sure we'll get a good view of Helensburgh. So let's go. We're pretty early, so we've got more than enough time. The train to Ballach that was before our train has just left, and there's nobody here, which feels pretty odd just now, being all alone, lower level on Glasgow Queen Street. I know that the train looks really empty, but I've seen a conductor and seen some other passengers as well, so I'm not the only one on the train, thank goodness. Now let's quickly chat about why Helensburgh is supposed to be Scotland's friendliest town. This isn't based on extensive research, but on an article originally published by Travel Awaits claiming Helensburgh is the friendliest town, followed by Dunblane and Pitlochry. But by now, you know me, and I use any excuse for a wee day trip. So let's get back to that wee train journey. And that's us arrived in Helensburgh. Now, our first stop will be the pier, and I did wonder if we should go to the castle. We would have to walk along the pier, but we'll have a look if we'll make it. Speaking about friendly, this lovely guy just like walked another way for me because he said I was filming. How nice. Maybe there is some truth to it that Helensburgh is Scotland's friendly town, which, you know, I find crazy because Scotland is already a very friendly country. The reason why I'm not sure about if we should go to this castle, because it's a bit further out, is our usual problem. And if you've seen some of our videos, then you know why. Because we always stop, well, Ian and I, or if I'm alone, me myself, we'll always stop on our way to somewhere, and then at the end we're like more or less in a rush because we need to get home or we need to get to another place. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening just now. We'll go and have a wee look here, and then we'll have a look at what is our next wee stop. I have been asked quite a few times now in different videos, why is it so quiet where you go to? It seems to be, you know, that there are not many people. I mean, just now you've seen it on the train to Helensburgh. There was nearly nobody on it, and just now it's also pretty quiet. And the reason for that is that we do try to come at like early in the morning, just to avoid like crowds. Basically, I think it's better for filming, and also you get to see more. And yeah, we do try to do that, but sometimes that's not possible, especially like when we're like on holiday. We do like take our time maybe and leave the house a bit later, or also if it's bucketing in the morning and there's sunshine in the afternoon, we won't go out in the morning, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's the reason why it's mostly pretty quiet in our videos. Right, let's head back into town. What I know about Helensburgh is that it was founded in the late 18th century by Sir James Cahool. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it is named after his wife, Lady Helen. Not only is Helensburgh a stop on the West Highland Railway line, but there are also many walking trails that go through Helensburgh. For example, the John Muir walking trail. Yeah, I thought I had remembered this. So if you ever fancy walking the John Muir Way from Helensburgh to Dunbar, this is your place to be. Do you know what? That might actually be an idea for a trip next year, or maybe even this year, depending on how the weather is. I found another route. So this is the John Muir Way. This is Loch Lomond. We are here, standing right here, and then also where we are, you can take the Three Lochs Way. That might be another idea for us. We've now arrived at the submarine centre, which is over here. It will open at 10, but there will be also something else that opens at 10, and I can only visit either or, time-wise. So let's have another relook through Helensburgh, get a coffee, and then we'll have a wee chat where we want to go to. We're now walking back to the gingerbread coffee shop. Need a wee caffeine hit, and then we'll go and have a wee seat. Wait, how do I get out of here?
Yeah, have a lovely day.
Great, thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Got my wee double espresso, and now let's go to the park for a wee seat. Need to check the weight again. Oh no. The biggest disadvantage though of coming to places when nobody is here is that when you have no clue where to go to, you do kind of rely like on people, you know, coming in and out of places when you're not sure. And you know what? That might be the reason why I get lost so often. It's maybe not my sense of directions, it's just because there are not many people there. Right, let's talk about what our next plan is going to be, because I was planning on going to the submarine centre, which opens in 3 minutes, but there's also the Hill House that opens at 10, and it's Macintosh. Decisions. Now back to our wee problem, which is not really a problem, I know that. So the submarine centre has got 4.3 stars out of 5 with 116 reviews, and the Hill House has got a 4.7 rating and 1.4k reviews. So guess where I'll be going to? While everything else that we've seen so far in Helensburgh has been pretty central and everything is walking distance, the Hill House is a bit further out, not too far I would say, but it is a 25-minute walk and it's uphill as well. And we will be passing Helensburgh Upper, where the West Highland Railway drives through, and if we time it correctly, we might be able to get a train back from Helensburgh Upper. Seems like there are quite a few people already, so let's go in. Okay, brilliant. No, thanks, I'm fine. Thank you. The Hill House is often regarded as the most iconic home created by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, Scotland's most famous architect. It was commissioned in 1902 by Walter Blackie, a wealthy publisher from Glasgow. Mackintosh thoughtfully designed the house to suit the needs and lifestyle of the Blackie family. Every piece of furniture, textile and decorative detail was custom made by Mackintosh and his wife Margaret MacDonald, a well-known artist in the arts and crafts movement. Completed in 1904, the house is now maintained by the National Trust for Scotland. So this was the Hill House, under construction in 1903, and 1 year later, in 1904, look at that. It is very impressive. It feels like you're walking through someone's house. Like the smell, it's like, you know, like when you go into a really old house or building, it's that like smell. was the Hill House, and I'm very glad that I went. As I said while visiting, it didn't feel like you were like in a museum. It really felt just like you were in someone's house. It was well worth a visit, and I can highly, highly recommend going there. They've also got a wee cafe there, and they've got a wee shop as well. You also get this pretty cool ticket, which it's a small thing, but it's like sometimes it's like the wee things that count, you know. So you will have seen the Hill House box. I think that's how they call it, and that is because they have to actually dry out the building because it is so damp. It was built with cement, and over the years it's been decaying, and yeah. So the National Trust is currently getting that sorted, basically, but it's a huge project and it will take years. I paid £14 for £14 is for one adult if you don't have a National Trust membership. And now we will be walking back down, but not completely into the town. We'll actually manage to get the train from Helensburgh Upper to Glasgow Queen Street. The Caledonian Sleeper is actually something else that we want to do as well, maybe next year. And although Helensburgh Upper is quite an important station with the Caledonian Sleeper and the West Highland line driving through here, it's only one platform. And that's us back in Glasgow. I didn't get as much filming done on the way back because the train was mobbed. It was mobbed until Downmuir, and I don't know how many people got off, but suddenly the train was a bit emptier. I don't know what's going on there, but the most scenic part of the train journey was over, so yeah, there's only a bit of footage for you there. But thanks so much for joining me on my wee trip to Helensburgh, and I'll see you next week. Bye.